When it comes to pregnancy and childbirth, there's no such thing as being over-prepared. But wouldn't it be nice to focus on the things that are most important? In this video, I sit down with my midwife and ask her what her advice is for first-time moms and pregnant women. And of course, her advice is gold, even if this isn't your first pregnancy. See what she has to say, coming right up. It's Kristen from Marie Naturally, a channel all about natural living and lifestyle, including topics like motherhood, home birth, homeschool, natural cleaning, natural beauty, and health and more. Recently, I sat down with my midwife and had a talk about all things home birth and midwifery care, and I decided to put this into a series because we had a lot to talk about. Shannon's voice has been featured at the national level, having spoken for the National Institutes of Health consensus panel on VBAC, and she's been featured on NPR. And today, she's offering her advice to you. I hope that you find it helpful, and be sure to check out the other videos in this series. All right, let's get into this video. There's one thing or a couple things or whatever that you wish that women knew. Like, let's say first-time moms, right? And they're like overwhelmed by the options and decisions that they have to make. What do you wish that you could tell first-time moms or women who are ready to embark on the birth journey?
That it's hard, but it's possible. And that doesn't matter. It does not matter where you're giving birth. We are training women to believe of themselves that this is too hard for them, that they need to have epidurals, that they need to be in hospitals, that they need a home birth, that whatever. We're training them. And what we need to do is tell them that the birth itself is possible, that you're capable, that you're strong enough, and that when you feel the most like you are literally looking in a mirror at yourself and going, I don't feel capable, you're still capable. And I feel like that's where we're missing all of the marks, because it's not about where you give birth or how you give birth. It's the fact that we aren't allowing women to find where that point is in themselves and then push it. It sounds really stupid, but you know, it's like when you talk about the whole Miley Cyrus song, The Climb, it's like, you know, Hannah Montana. I was listening to it one time, I was like, this is really a great birth song. Because it was like, you know, the idea is that when you get pregnant, all you think about is the baby. You know, and then you start to get more and more pregnant and you start to become more navel gazing. You're kind of looking at yourself like, yeah, I'm afraid of all of this. But it's not polite to admit you're afraid of all of it. It's not polite when you've had your fourth baby to look in the mirror and be like, I'm not sure I can do this. You know, or be like, oh, I remember this from last time. This was really not the part I liked and everything. But when we rob women of the choice to pursue it, when we rob women of the choice to be like, no, I have the right to try. When we tell women that, you know, this is something that's hard and painful and awful, and we tell women all of the scare stories, then we're never looking at them and saying, but this is a rite of passage. That this is not just, and rites of passage don't have to be hard and painful and everything else, but they are typically some sort of a trial of your character, your strength, your ability. And I think that the way that we do things with first-time moms is we kind of pat them on the head and we're kind of like, oh, it's okay.
You just tell them that everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah, this is all too hard for you. I'm not going to be honest with you about it because I don't want to scare you and everything else. And at the same time, it is kind of cute sometimes where you get into a situation with a first-time mom and you're like, have you taken any childbirth classes? No, I'm just going to see how everything unfolds. It's like, okay, you need a little more prep than that.
Yeah.
you need a little more understanding of who you are as a person and how you manage pain, and if this does get hard, what we're going to do. I also think that with first-time moms is telling them, you know, flat out, your pelvis has never done this before. It's going to be a little bit of work to get the baby to shift and turn and to do and things, and it's going to feel like you're changing positions and you're doing different things, and you're gonna have to stretch and expand and do all of that. And I feel like there's so much that we do that takes that away from them. There's so much we do. You know, I mean, you can go all the way to the medical board where you're like, you know, the medical side of the board where you're like, oh, we induce them, we C-section them, we tell them there's all these reasons why they can't possibly have their baby. And then on the other hand, we have, you know, midwives who will sit there at the bedside and basically be like, well, you know, this just isn't working. And but they're not really doing anything to help with positions and help you figure out how to better do this. Or they're not talking to you about position of baby weeks ahead of time to be like, okay, this baby's a little posterior, let's figure that out. And it's like, and then you have these situations where you have first-time moms who are out there trying to give birth, and you're like, okay, here's things you need to know. Here's how you need to know it. Here's what we can do during labor. Here's what you can do prenatally to make this more comfortable on yourself. Here's spinning babies, which is not perfect, but it's hopeful. You know.
You know what that sound is?
I do, but let's be quiet,
What
okay?
is it?
It's you pounding something with the tape measure.
So, what it is?
The ice tray. Oh, a banana.
Frozen bananas. I love frozen bananas.
There are ripe bananas, you know?
Yeah.
Are you trying to make a smoothie or something?
No.
Oh.
This one was hidden in the freezer.
Well, you can cut it in half and eat it with a spoon. I do that sometimes.
Banana ice cream.
Yeah. But I feel like that's the thing is like you're gonna find all levels of providers, and when you talk to someone, first time moms need to know that you need to talk to your provider. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about position. Let's talk a little bit about preparation. What are some things you think I can be doing to make this easier? And really listen to your provider from the point of view of what do they really have to offer in that situation. That's number one. This is your birth. Whoever you're choosing to be there should know their job. They should know how to help you. They should know how to position. They should know how to help you change positions. They should know how to assess the baby to see what position the baby's in, and not treat the position as something that's just going to unfold. Because 10% of all cesareans that are for posterior for first-time moms. Why is that? It's because there's either somebody who's not prenatally helping you to fix that, or because babies are in a bad position and we need to get them out of that. So I feel like with first-time moms, it's more about talk to your provider. Make sure you're asking all of the questions. You know, read everything, watch everything on YouTube, do whatever it is you want to do that's going to help inform you of how to do this. And when you watch birth videos, stop watching it from the, oh, look at this cute baby being born, and start looking at the, okay, how did she move? Do some training there. Treat it like it's a little physical exercise. Yeah. You might need to learn how to do this. Instinctively, you're gonna know. Yeah. Your body's gonna do the work. But let's make it easier on you.
I like that. Okay, so what do you think? Do you feel more ready or empowered or over your head overwhelmed? Pregnancy and childbirth can be a lonely, wild ride. It's my hope to be a bridge for community in motherhood. So please, if you want, leave a comment below. Feel free to reach out if you're in need of support. Definitely hit the subscribe button so that you can be notified of other videos that I will be uploading, and like, share, whatever you want. I just hope that this helps some way. Much love to you, Mama. Love to you too.